Is One Battle After Another Paul Thomas Anderson's best movie? Let's find out. This is the channel where I watch movies without knowing the runtime and count how many times I check my phone or my watch to see if a movie's gas or ass. It's a pocket watch review, and today I'm watching One Battle After Another. I've seen the trailer for this a few times, and it seems like a fun, politically charged, genre-defying movie, and it honestly seems pretty similar to Taken, but actually good. To all my diehard Taken fans, that was mostly a joke. But yeah, other than that, honestly, I've tried to avoid knowing anything about this movie. I don't want just a taste.
I'm tired of getting the taste of it. I want the whole load.
The marketing so far, though, has been great. Chase Infiniti has been putting in a lot of work on TikTok. It's been hilarious seeing her do TikTok trends with Leo, Regina, and Teyana, and those guys have no idea what the TikTok trend is, but she's making them do it anyways. Also, I think Chase is a great actress, and I think she's gonna be a breakout star soon. I saw her for the first time in Presumed Innocent with Jake Gyllenhaal, and she was great in that show. And it's pretty sick that she's named after a Batman character and Buzz Lightyear. But yeah, I've been seeing a lot of early reviews and influencers saying this is an instant classic and the best movie of the past couple years. And obviously that's good news, but for me, I always try to temper my expectations before going to watch a movie, especially when it's a movie that hasn't even come out yet. Especially now, it's become pretty hard to filter out what's just noise, marketing hype, or pooper, and what's actually an authentic review. But given all that, I'm still excited to go watch this movie, especially since I just watched Phantom Thread and Punch Drunk Love this week. Full disclosure though, I haven't seen There Will Be Blood yet. For whatever reason, I have a bad habit of holding off on watching these classic movies until they get a re-release in theaters. But anyways, let's get to the pocket watch predictions for this movie. I think the runtime is gonna be 2 hours, 20 minutes. PTA has a habit of going pretty long on these movies outside of Punch Drunk Love. So I'm pretty positive this is going to be longer than 2 hours, 20 minutes. And since this movie does seem like it's going to be pretty long, I'm predicting I'm only going to check the time once during this movie, but honestly, it could end up being 0 checks. Let's see how it goes. Off to the movie.
We come to this place
down. Oh, God.
for magic. We come to AMC theaters to laugh, to cry, to care.
I'm back from the movie, but first I gotta get into character real quick. I have to get in sync with my goat, Leo DiCaprio. Editors, put up that pic of Leo with the beanie, the glasses, and the robe. I didn't have like a plaid robe, so this is gonna have to do. I don't know if I'm gonna get through this whole video wearing this. I predicted this movie would have a runtime of 2 hours, 20 minutes, and it ended up having a runtime of 2 hours, 41 minutes. I also predicted I would only check the time once during this movie, but I was wrong. There were 0 pocket watch checks during this, and I don't want to be one of those reviewers that either label something as peak, the best, or overhyped garbage. Personally, I always think it's best to temper your expectations, especially when you're the person recommending something to someone. Recently, we've gotten pretty binary with recommendations. Something is either the best or the worst. But I have to say, for a movie over 2.5 hours, this was one of the best paced movies I've ever seen. And genuinely, this was probably the best movie I've seen all year. To the point where I think this movie will be looked back upon long in the future and actually taught in schools. This is a perfect representation of the political state America is in right now, and it's more relevant than ever, which is crazy because I saw an interview saying that Paul Thomas Anderson had the idea for One Battle After Another over 20 years ago. But that all made sense to me once I realized this movie was based on the book Vineland, which dealt with the war on drugs and took place during both the 60s and the 80s and dealt with the revolution and the promises of counterculture. And One Battle After Another focuses more on modern issues like revolting against how immigration is handled right now and fascism in general. PTA essentially adapted a lot of this book to just be more relevant to modern times. But mainly, I'm really impressed with PTA making his most political movie yet and how effectively he was able to get his message across. But to be fair, he's never given us a reason to doubt him. This movie had me feeling a range of emotions from anger and anxiety to me hysterically laughing in my seat. It just seemed like a perfect storm with everything coming together in the best way possible. The acting performances in this were top notch. Leo delivered as everyone expected he would, and Teyana and Regina both brought their A games. And Benicio was so much fun to watch. His nonchalant nature while still making big moves throughout the movie and his chemistry with Leo was honestly the funniest part of this movie. But as I predicted, Chase Infiniti was cooking, which is super surprising because this is her first film role ever, and she was in a PTA movie with a star-studded cast, and she was able to hold her own. Not even just hold her own, she was a standout in this movie. And I have to give Sean Penn a lot of credit. He completely lost himself in the role to the point where I wouldn't even recognize him at points. Also, the score was super intense, building tension at the right times, and then the needle drops, it was clear that they were all thoughtfully selected. I think any other year it would have had a good shot at winning Best Score at the Oscars, Oscars, but this year I think Sinners is taking the cake. I'm not even gonna bother talking about the box office for this movie. Well, one, because the movie just came out today and we don't know anything yet, but two, because this is one of those movies where the box office shouldn't even matter. Please, please, please go see this movie in theaters. It's one of those movies where it's worth every dollar. It has everything you'd want from a movie: comedy, thrills, family dynamics, espionage, all while being more relevant than ever. I have to give this movie a 5 out of 5. That's a wrap. I need to get out of this. I'm sweating.